Today's video is another chill street photography walk, this time featuring the Instax Mini 99. I wanted to capture the feeling of perusing that is intrinsic to street photography, so I'll be showing you clips of streets and their details overlapping with each other as they often do in the mind, moment to moment. When I travel, I always make time to walk around for hours taking pictures of the places I visit. But when I'm home, the details of my own city blend together around me. A cloudy river of movement in the long exposure photograph that is my average day. I romanticize travel because of those long walks, those periods of exploration. I tell myself that I've already taken every picture that my own city has to offer. I need to branch out. But in reality, each lens, kit, camera changes what the city has to offer, broadens the spectrum of possible pictures, a new eye, a new way to approach the art, a new method to frame the world. And if I let the streets slip together, pass me by, even when armed with such a powerful tool for capturing them, that's on me, my own reluctance to romanticize my own city. So today, with that reluctance in mind, I set out to capture old haunts with fresh eyes. And this camera, the Mini 99, provides an adequately entertaining set of eyes. If you've watched my previous street photography videos, you might have seen a few of these spots before. I featured a few of them in my best photo shoot locations in Vancouver video. This is one of the oldest videos permitted to remain in public view. But the truth is, I haven't shot in any of these locations for years now. I have a lot of good reasons for that. The street harassment was a constant nuisance, and the looming threat of security guards shuffling us along. But I have bad reasons too. I started to feel like I was taking the same pictures over and over again in these locations, but with different subjects. Fumbling around, trying to find unique perspectives while staying within the same narrow range of angles and compositions. But what do you know, street photography is a great way to resolve this. It forces us to look at spaces with new eyes, see new features, factor shadows and time of day into the equation. Even when the resulting photos aren't very good, I don't think that many of these instant snaps are very good, the process is good, healthy, constructive for a photographer gone stale. And with an instant camera, there's the added gratification of anticipation. Snap the picture, tuck it away, examine it a few blocks later. Schrodinger's image, at once genius and failure for approximately 90 seconds. Time to consider the image process, what went right, what went wrong, before appraising the result. And street photographers love anticipation. Carefully watching as seagulls swoop closer and closer to a mishandled brunch, anticipating the moment of confrontation. Anticipating the cyclist through the beam of the setting sun, the perfectly aligned shadow, the aesthetic passerby. Hours of walking fly right by when you spend them watching eagerly for the next thing to happen, whatever it may be. And in these hours, the creative brain is ignited, flexed and flared like a muscle, maneuvering gymnastics around the restrictions of the camera in hand, the lens, the film. And each time that muscle comes away stronger, with greater endurance, flexibility, I leave with a handful of mediocre pictures and a mind glittering with inspiration. I've been trying out a new aspirational habit for street photography. Aspirational because it isn't always the case, where I don't listen to anything while I'm out on one of these walks. Music, podcasts, books, nothing, just the sound of the street. And I try to think with intention about the actions of photography. Sometimes a snippet from a podcast or quote from a fellow photographer will get stuck in my mind, how their process guides their hand, and it will become the theme of the session. Working with shadow, capturing candids. There's so much romanticized reading out there about the wonders of snapping strangers on 35mm film, but the true inspiration must be mined from these musings, practiced, mulled over, experimented with. When the sages of silver halides tell us to get out and shoot like our life depends on it, I think this is the process that they're recommending. Not a walk around the block with some marketing major YouTuber yammering in your ear about Instagram algorithms, but a real, practiced, photographic meditation. Repetition of technique without repetition of imagery. It's more of a challenge than you might think, but if you're interested in street photography, I'd recommend that you try it out. Get out there for a few hours and leave the headphones at home. Let photography take over your whole mind and see where it takes you. And maybe, if you're lucky, you'll get some mediocre instant photos just like me. At this point in my photo walk, I've defaulted back to the tried and the true, my old stomping ground, Vancouver's Chinatown, street photography mecca and unfortunate victim of poor public policy. Don't listen to TikTok. This area is safe, especially in daylight hours. I think of Chinatown as one of the key biomes in Vancouver's ecosystems, a site of many converging lives and ways of living, purposes and time periods. And of course, I got a little carried away here documenting the details. I am romanticizing my own city, after all. Throughout the process of making this video, I've had time to think about my art, my practice, and now I've had time to share those thoughts with you. So, thank you very much for listening. I hope it was interesting. I hope you like my photos and my findings and this impractical style of video. If you're visiting Vancouver, you can hit me up for some recommendations on where to shoot. I'll see you all next week with a new video. In the meantime, you can like, subscribe, and don't forget to keep shooting. Bye guys.